Morning everybody, how are we all? So this morning I've gone back up in the forest as always. I've come to the King's Standing area of the forest. You know where, do you know where? The King's Standing car park basically. I've parked at the King's Standing car park. If you know the forest at all, it's the place where you typically see that ice cream van parked up. I come here with a target in mind because I had this whole video planned out in my head. An old friend got in touch with me during the week on social media, was explaining to me how there's this particular couple of trees in this area that they spread their or her nan's ashes on. So I had this whole idea in my head of doing a video on the sentimental value of photos and photography and that sort of stuff, which I will do, but I'll be damned if I can find those trees. So I'm going to have a chat with her in a week and see if I can find them. But also, to be honest with you, the light isn't great this morning. And I'm a light fiend, I'm a sunshine man. I much prefer the light. And especially if you're trying to make a tree, something that carries a bit of sentimental meaning like that, or a lot of sentimental meaning like that for someone, I'd like to be able to get in the best possible light that I can. And well, today it's just not there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna have a walk around and see what I can find. My theme of the video is gone because I can't find it, as I just said, but I'll make do with what I can. Still a nice morning, nice and calm. A little bit of breeze about, but at least I'm not rushing around this morning trying to get the perfect light or trying not to miss the perfect light. I can just take my time and have a meander about, take some nice photos. So now let me show you this. I'll get you guys behind the camera with me. Let me show you this picture I've framed up here. Yes, this view here, how well can you see that? Not particularly well. I'll get a clip. Like I usually do, a bit of B-roll showing you what I can see on the camera. What I've seen and what caught my eye as I walked in was this view in the distance that I'm getting here. So what we've got, I don't know whether you can see it, in the sort of immediate foreground nearest to us, you should be able to pick those out. Can you see the trees there? The really bushy trees with the orange and the yellows of autumn, like colour on. And I hope I'm in focus here. Looks like I am. And yeah, so what's happening is there's like this V to the vista that goes beyond. So these trees, you've got that bank of trees on the left there, coming down. And to the right of it, a bit nearer to me, is this other bank of trees. And they're both sort of, they're meeting in the middle, so they're creating like a V. And then beyond that, we've got the horizon. So obviously, the views beyond, which is obviously fields and banks of trees up on a hill. But they're just shrouded in a little bit of mist. There's a bit of haze out there. So what's near to us, it sort of graduates through the image. See, what's near to us is a little bit hazy, but not much. I've just seen something else I might like to picture down the bottom there. I'll go down there in a sec. But yeah, and it sort of drags you through the scene. So nearer to us is in better sort of clarity. It's more clear. And then as it goes beyond into the horizon, the more misty it gets. So it creates these quite cool layers. Just working your way through the scene, and this bit of a V, which is acting like a natural frame to the sort of the misty beauty, like the hazy beauty that's beyond that. And I just really liked it. When I was walking across the top, I couldn't quite get the angle I wanted to get, which was up there, but it's still too overgrown with them prickly, stabby things around the forest that always jab me in the leg. And I didn't fancy trying to clamber through them. So this was the best angle I could get, but I'm still achieving the V that I wanted to achieve, giving you that natural frame. The only issue I've got is that on this lens, I've got a 24-70, so the furthest I can go out, why are you not turning on camera? The furthest I can get out to is 70mm, and that's not quite the reach that I want. I wish I had my 70-200 on me. But I've got this camera, this is new to me now, it's an EOS R, and that's a 30 megapixel sensor. So I'll be able to, should be able to crop in far enough to get the perspective that I want. And I'm thinking, looking at it now, like if I was to cycle through my, oh no, I'm not going to bother with that now. Looking at it now, it will look good in that, what is it, like 24 by 65 or 25 by 64, I can't remember what it is, that pano crop. And it'll just look really interesting, I feel anyway, with the layers and creating that sort of wide vista. That's the thought that's in my head at the minute anyway. As always with these things, I might get it back to Lightroom, look at it and think, what the hell was you thinking there? But I don't think I will quite like that. I've always liked those almost like minimal shots, minimalist shots that that more sort of invoke like a, I don't want to say a feeling, but just like layers. It's something nice to look at, and it's a little bit abstract, a little bit different to the usual. Here's a tree, here's a beautiful view, or whatever. It's like I've seen this in a bit of a different way to what you might expect. Yeah, so that's that picture anyway. That's always going on too long. So I'm going to take a wander around. I'm going to go down there because I think I've seen something that I like. But yeah, I'll say thank you very much for watching, guys, as always. And whatever time of the day it is, I wish you a good morning, good day, good evening, good night. I hope you're having a nice Sunday, because I always like these, upload these on Sunday. And I'll stop talking now and go down there, and I'll catch you a little bit when I found something else to picture. Thank you. Hello again, everyone. Am I going to be in focus? It looks like I am. It's a constant battle, that is, when you're trying to manual focus. I've got all these grasses. Does that add like a cool texture to the video? I've really struggling to find, I don't know if you saw when I was walking in then, trying to get the right angle for everything so you can see what I'm talking about and see me and it not all be too weird. It was really difficult on this spot. I'm on the side of a bit of a bank and trying to get, that's why I'm standing like, anyway, I've come down to picture what caught my eye a moment ago when I was up the top there. And it's this bank of trees. There's this silver, I think they're pines, and then there's silver birches in amongst them. And I'm sure you can see it on that. Where am I? You might not be able to see that. Anyway, there's this bank of trees. I put a little bit of B-roll on your I'll put some B-roll on the screen now so you can see what I'm talking about. There's these silver birch there coming into autumn colours. And it really caught my eye up the top there. Because it just stood out quite a bit. Those yellows and those oranges and those sort of copper tones against the greens of the evergreen pines, I want to say, but the evergreen trees that are there. It just makes for a nice image. I am going to take, I'm not entirely sure on this perspective. I'm going to take another one after I stop speaking to you down a bit closer, because the image I had in my mind when I was up there, it looked like an arch to me from the top. And when I come down, sorry, I was trying to get, I liked the view from up here. I liked looking at it and the like block of different colours that we're getting. But I'm wondering if I can get an arch picture down there, you know, because the trees are coming over, bending over. But I'll try that after I've stopped speaking to you. But pretty much to talk through this image, what I liked about here is that that bank of colour there, the different sort of hues, and it's quite moody. Unfortunately, there's not, as I just said a minute on the last clip, not much of a sky going on. But which is fine, because it gives you nice even light, and I can try and make that look sort of moody and colourful in Lightroom or Photoshop later. But this image I quite liked. I've got this bracken, which is really orange now. It's really gone like coppery, browny orange. And I've sort of used that and what looks like a path, but isn't a path, which is the green. So you've got like the orange bank, and the green grasses, the green and yellow grasses, or like off yellow, whatever. What would you call that colour? I'm not too sure. Anyway, between that and then the bank of trees. And again, I quite like the layers of that, the way that sort of works through the scene. And I've just angled it so that the bracken and the green path is coming across like on a bit of a diagonal, not a massive diagonal, but a bit of a diagonal, just creating a bit of travel through the scene. Yeah, that's it. The only thing that's annoying me, and I don't know if you can see it, is there's this little bush down here. I don't like it. I mean, it's a nice bush, but inside that frame it's getting annoying, so I'm hoping I'll either be able to crop that out or cheat a bit on Photoshop and remove it out using the remove tool. But I don't know, otherwise I quite like it. I'm sort of making do with what I've got, because I haven't got the light that I usually like, unfortunately, today. But yeah, it's just a nice shot. I like today's about layers, I think, about layers of colour or mist or something, you know, just to create a bit of depth in an image. Yeah, so I'm going to go down there and try a different perspective on that. If I'll either put one or both up on your screen so you can have a look, and do let me know which you prefer. Yeah, I'll say thank you guys, and I'm going to take another wander around. The aim is to get one more photo. I actually don't have any idea of what, because I'm not feeling hugely inspired this morning, to be honest, because there's no light there. I'm a sunshine fiend. I love the sunshine, and we're not getting any sunshine, so that doesn't matter though. Luckily we've got quite a bit of colour, a bit of contrasting colour, because we're into autumn now, so I'm using that as my inspiration as best as I can. But anyways, thank you very much. I'll take a wander around and find another picture. I'll leave you guys with those and a bit of B-roll, and say thank you, blah 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 blah. Thank you. Hello again. So I found this scene here that I quite like. It's back down in the sort of dip that I was earlier, but a bit further along. But I can't. It's just because there's no light, right? I found this scene. He had some light, some morning light on this, possibly a bit of mist, which I think you'd likely get around here. This shot would be incredible. Maybe even at sunset with the sun behind the trees, a bit of light coming through. I think this scene would be really pretty. So like a little meadowy area. We've got one silver birch there, which you should be able to see, which you can see, I think, that I'm using as almost like a main subject, because that's quite bare, and it's surrounded by these other birch that are still holding on to their leaves. So there's yellows and greens and coppers and oranges and stuff like that. And I like the scene, but what I'm really struggling with is the complete lack of light, and then the fact that that sky is nothingness. It's just bland. It's really like not much going on with it. If it was like a moody, I might be able to make it look moody in Photoshop, which would require a little bit of cheating, but I guess it's artistic license. But it just, I don't know, I don't like it. So I've taken two shots. I've taken one of the wider scene, which I'll show you now on the thing I do with the phone. And then one I've taken where I've really zoomed in onto that birch, but I've kept the birch on the left-hand side. Basically, I was trying to cut the sky out. I was trying to get the sky out of it completely. And the only way I could get an angle for that here, stood here, was having that birch there on the left and then using the bush of the canopy of the trees on the right. And it looks quite inviting, I think. It looks quite nice, as long as I can edit it in a way to make it look so. But I just don't know. I'm going to put both up, right, and let me know what you think. I think it's a nice scene, but I don't think the light's right for it. And I think the cropping in one, trying to make it look a bit moody in that, will make for an interesting photo. I think the wider scene, the wider vista, needs something else going on with that sky. We either need stormy clouds, textured clouds, or some sunlight would be nice, or some morning light. Unfortunately, I haven't got anything this morning, none of it. So it is what it is. You know, you can't. Yeah, I've been quite fortunate recently. The last probably month or so, every morning I've come up here, it's been some sort of interesting conditions to work with. Today, it just hasn't panned out. But what I've been trying to do, as I've done with the first shot, partly with the second shot, and partly with this, is use layers. So use layers of interest, layers of different colours, contrasting colours, or like the first shot, layers of mist in the distance on the horizon to create a bit of depth and a bit of interest in the image. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think though. But other than that, guys, I'm going to wrap that video up there. King's Standing is a nice spot, and I need to explore it a bit more. Yeah, no, I'm going to say thank you very much, guys. I wish you a good morning, a good day, a good evening, and a good night, whatever time of the day it is you're watching this. And I'll catch you all next time. I hope you have a nice week. I'll say goodbye.